Hi, everyone. Thanks for watching. My name is Jennifer Martinez, and I'm a law clerk at the Law Office of Odalo J, Ohiku. I'm here with Attorney Ohiku to discuss COVID-19 in Milwaukee and how the virus has affected one of the main traditions of our legal system. So, Attorney Ohiku, can you explain the governor's safer at home order and what happened when it was struck down?
Yes, but first, let's take a look. Gloves, mask, and this protective shield. This is what we've come to right now. This is kind of the current state of affairs in our society. This COVID-19 pandemic has basically changed our way of life. Normally, you wouldn't see me with the gloves on and the mask and the protective shield, but this is where we are today. In terms of the governor's safer at home order, the whole point of it was to quote unquote flatten the curve, meaning the whole idea was not to see like huge spikes in COVID cases at the hospital. So kind of to flatten the curve, meaning that there would kind of be like just a kind of a steady type of progression as opposed to big spikes, right? So the governor's order was basically to have everyone stay at home so that big spikes in COVID cases could be prevented. Now, the Supreme Court came along and said, well, hold on, Governor, not so fast. We believe you overstepped your authority. And when the court used that language, it brought me back to my 1L years at Marquette Law School. It brought me to the term of ultra vires. And before law school, I hadn't heard of, I know what ultra vires was, but it basically means beyond your legal authority or beyond your scope of authority. And that's what our Supreme Court said the governor did.
So as of May 26th, when the safer at home order would have been lifted if it was still in place, is everything open again?
Everything is not open, and that's a big misperception or a misnomer out there. People thinking that everything is open. No, what municipalities did was immediately following the Supreme Court striking down the governor's safer at home order, municipalities on their own did their own orders, basically saying that we as a city of Milwaukee, or we as a municipality, we have inherent authority to keep people safe. So after the Supreme Court struck down the governor's order, municipalities on their own enacted their kind of quote unquote safer at home or stay at home orders to protect people. So things aren't open. What I guess it's kind of a hodgepodge. So no, things aren't open, but certain things are available. For example, just give a clear example. You can order delivery, or you can, go to a restaurant and carry out items, but you can't actually, for the most part, dine in at establishments.
So with different places taking different approaches, what's the plan for Milwaukee?
Milwaukee, as well as other municipalities, are kind of doing like open up a little bit, kind of see how that works. If everything is okay, there aren't these huge spikes in COVID cases, then kind of, open up a little more, kind of see how that looks. If there aren't huge, spikes in COVID cases, then kind of open up some more. But it's my understanding that the end phase, meaning we won't get back to normal like last summer. We won't get back to how things were last summer until there's an actual vaccine for the COVID virus.
Considering statistics like May 14th, the day after the order was struck down, there were 373 new cases identified in Wisconsin. And yesterday alone, on the 27th, there were an additional 599. So with places opening back up again slowly, do you think that that means things are getting better?
Personally, I don't think things are getting better. I think things are getting worse. I think people are kind of taking this kind of willy-nilly approach, or it's a go on everything. You don't have to wear a mask anymore. You don't have to stay 6 feet apart from each other. Just kind of let's go at it. So because of that, I don't think things are getting better. I think things are getting worse just because of this attitude where, you know, you don't have to have the take the same precautions that people were taking. I hope that I'm wrong, that, you know, numbers aren't growing, that they're either staying stagnant or eventually going down, but I'm just afraid that they aren't. And I'm going to give an example. I am pretty good about, I got a little one, so I'm pretty good about when I'm out in public wearing a mask and, you know, staying 6 feet away from people. But when I'm out, you got a lot of people, they see that I see them coming, I got my mask on, I'm trying to move away from them. A lot of times you see people trying to, you know, come closer, like encroaching on you. So for things like that, it makes me think that, yeah, things aren't in a good spot.
As a defense attorney, the virus has impacted your practice directly. You do jury trials. How do you foresee jury trials taking place in a world that's still fighting COVID?
For me, honestly, I think jury trials have been changed for forever. I mean, the first part of jury trial is really, you know, jury selection. And then if you even go one step before jury selection, you have the attorney and then the client. So with jurors, I mean, a lot of this is, you know, impressions, right? So is there going to be, you're going to have an attorney 6 feet away, you know, from the client? So then what type of impression does that give? And then when jurors actually come up, usually there are 35 or 40 jurors, sometimes more than that, depends on the particulars of the case. Sometimes you need more jurors, but you're going to have at least 35 to 40 people coming up. And the way it is now is they're basically right on top of each other, right? Side by side next to each other. And obviously that's not 6 feet apart from each other. I think until we figure out how to keep potential jurors 6 feet apart and safe, I don't see how we're going to continue to do jury trials as they were before. I don't see it. But obviously I know that we got to come up with a solution. We got to continue to have trials. People have a right to jury trials, so we got to get it figured out. But right now, honestly, I don't know. And then this is hot off the presses from our Eastern District, from Judge Pamela Pepper. These orders, you know, the courts have been issuing these orders where basically courts are shut down for a period of time. Just hot off the presses today, that May 28th, 2020, the Chief Judge continued, or I should say extended an order. It's supposed to expire June 1st. Now it's been extended to July 1st. It might go beyond that. So getting back to your question, yeah, I don't know how we're going to continue to do jury trials, but I know we got to get it figured out.
Thank you, Attorney Ohiku. That concludes our Q&A. If there are any additional topics or questions that you would like us to discuss in the future, please feel free to email me at lawclerk@ohiku.com. Thanks for watching.